They stole my service rifle. Sign here, specialist. I signed for my M4 rifle, serial number W245789. 3 days later, it was gone. They blamed me. Article 15, rank reduction, possible court-martial. My squad leader, Staff Sergeant Derek Morrison, looked me in the eye and said, "Just take responsibility, Chen. Make this easier on yourself." That's when I knew. He didn't just blame me, he stole it. And he thought I'd just accept it like the others. Marcus Webb, falsely accused in 2021, took the punishment, got discharged. Jessica Park, falsely accused in 2022, took the punishment, left broken. They thought I'd be victim number 3. They were wrong. I didn't just clear my name. I didn't just get them arrested. I systematically destroyed every single aspect of their lives. I got them dishonorably discharged, but that was just the beginning. I made sure their families knew what they did. I made sure their future employers knew what they did. I made sure their military brothers turned on them. I made sure they lost everything: freedom, reputation, family, future. And I made sure they knew it was me. This isn't just a story about proving innocence. This is a story about total annihilation. I'm Sergeant Maya Chen, United States Army. And this is how I destroyed the men who tried to destroy me. Let's begin. The setup and accusation. Same as previous script, through discovery and false accusation. Pick up at Morrison pressuring Maya to confess. The pressure campaign. Morrison didn't just tell me once to take responsibility. He launched a systematic pressure campaign to break me. Day 3 after accusation. Morrison pulled me aside during PT. "Chen, I talked to the commander. If you confess and show remorse, they'll go easy. Just extra duty, maybe loss of pay, no rank reduction." "Sergeant, I didn't lose the weapon." "Stop lying makes it worse," he got in my face. "I've seen this before. Soldier loses a weapon, tries to deny it, makes it worse, just admit it." "I'm not lying." He stared at me. "Your choice, but I'm trying to help you." Day 5. He started isolating me from the squad. "Chen stays back for extra training." "Chen, you're on fire guard tonight, alone." "Chen, you're cleaning the latrines this week." Making sure everyone saw I was being punished. Making sure everyone knew I was in trouble. Destroying my reputation before I was even formally charged. Day 7. He started spreading rumors. I overheard other soldiers talking. "Did you hear Chen lost her rifle? Morrison said she was drunk when she turned it in. Heard she's been negligent for months." All lies. But rumors spread faster than truth in the military. Day 10. Morrison brought me into his office. "Close the door. Chen, last chance. Sign the Article 15 today, accept responsibility, or this goes to court-martial. And trust me, you don't want that." I didn't do anything wrong. He leaned back, smiled, actually smiled. "You really think anyone's going to believe you over me? Over Hayes? We're senior NCOs. You're a junior enlisted with no proof." That smile. That fucking smile. That's when I knew this wasn't just about covering up a theft. He enjoyed this. He enjoyed the power, the control, watching me squirm. That's when I decided, I'm not just proving my innocence. I'm going to destroy him so completely, he'll wish he never met me. Investigation extended. Same as previous script. Discovering the pattern, finding previous victims, CI'd involvement. But adding Maya's personal revenge planning. While CI'd was building their case, I was building mine. A legal case proves guilt. My case was designed to destroy lives. Revenge planning, Phase 1 information warfare. I started gathering everything on Morrison and Hayes. Not just about the theft. Everything. Morrison's background. White heavy checkmark married. Wife, Jennifer Morrison. 2 kids, ages 8 and 6. White heavy checkmark lives off base in Clarksville, TN. White heavy checkmark wife doesn't work, depends entirely on his military income. White heavy checkmark has a truck payment, $800 month. White heavy checkmark mortgage, $2,200 month. White heavy checkmark recently bought a boat, $45,000 financed. Question: how is a staff sergeant affording this lifestyle? I pulled his leave and earnings statement through official channels. His salary, $4,500 month. His expenses, $6,000 plus month dollars. Where was the extra money coming from? Answer: selling stolen weapons. Hayes's background: white heavy checkmark divorced. Pays alimony, $1,200 month. White heavy checkmark lives on base, bachelor NCO quarters. White heavy checkmark about to retire in 8 months with full pension. White heavy checkmark pension value, $3,000 month for life equals $720,000 over 20 years. White heavy checkmark has a girlfriend, civilian, works at a bar in town. Hayes was about to retire rich. Not if I had anything to say about it. My revenge planning, phase 2, social mapping. I mapped out everyone connected to Morrison and Hayes. Their friends, their families, their professional networks. Why? Because when I destroyed them, I wanted everyone they knew to watch. I created a list. Morrison's circle. Wife Jennifer. 2 kids. Parents live in Texas. Sister lives locally. Best friend, SSG David Kim, same unit. Church community, attends regularly with family. Daughter's soccer team, he coaches. Hayes's circle. Ex-wife, still in contact. Girlfriend Rachel. Brother, also military, different base. Retirement ceremony guest list, I found it, 150 people invited. Veteran groups he's part of. Local bar regulars, he's a regular at 3 bars. I was going to make sure every single one of these people knew what Morrison and Hayes did. Revenge planning, phase 3, evidence collection for maximum damage. CID was collecting evidence for the criminal case. I was collecting evidence for public destruction. What CID needed? Proof of theft. Financial records showing illegal income. Communication with Booker. What I needed. Photos of Morrison at expensive restaurants while crying poverty to his wife. Evidence of Morrison lying to his wife about working late when he was actually at the armory stealing. Hayes bragging at bars about easy money. Screenshots of Morrison's social media showing off the boat, bought with stolen money. Morrison's daughter's soccer schedule, so I could time the exposure for maximum family impact. I wanted to destroy them legally and socially. The turning point, Hayes gets arrogant. Week 3 of surveillance. Hayes was at his regular bar, drinking, girlfriend Rachel next to him. He was talking loud, drunk. CID had an undercover agent nearby, recording. Hayes, 8 more months and I'm out, full pension. Baby, $3 grand a month for doing nothing. Rachel, you earned it, babe. Hayes earned it. Hell, I made extra on the side too. Easy money. Stupid kids don't know any better. Rachel, what do you mean? Hayes, laughing. Let's just say the Army's inventory isn't as tight as they think. I've been supplementing my income for years. Rachel, you're selling Army stuff. Hayes, equipment goes missing all the time. Who's gonna notice? And when they do, he laughed, pin it on some dumbass private. They take the fall, I take the money. He literally bragged about it. To his girlfriend. In a public bar. Recorded. I listened to that recording 50 times. Each time, my rage grew colder. Colder. More calculated. The sting extended. Same as previous. The bust happens, Morrison and Hayes arrested with weapon. But adding, Maya's immediate personal revenge. The arrest, my front row seat. CI'd let me watch the arrest. I stood in the shadows as MPS swarmed Morrison and Hayes. Morrison's face when he realized he was caught, priceless. Hayes tried to run, got tackled, face in the dirt. Even better. But that wasn't enough for me. Revenge phase 1, the personal touch. After they were cuffed and read their rights, Agent Torres let me approach. Morrison was sitting in the MP vehicle, hands cuffed behind him. I walked up, tapped on the window. He looked up, saw me. His expression changed from shock to fear. I smiled, pulled out my phone, showed him a photo, his wife Jennifer and 2 kids, from Facebook. His eyes widened. I mouthed the words, "She's going to know everything." Then I walked away. Let him sit with that. Hayes was in the second MP vehicle. I walked up to him, leaned close to the window. 8 more months till retirement, right? That pension you were bragging about. He glared at me. Gone, all of it. Dishonorable discharge means you lose everything. I smiled. Enjoy prison. Total annihilation. The courts-martial, I attended every day. Most soldiers don't attend others' courts-martial unless they're witnesses. I attended every single day of both trials. Front row. Making eye contact. Making sure they saw me every single day. Morrison's trial, day 1. His wife Jennifer attended, brought the kids. She had no idea what he'd done. When the prosecutor read the charges, theft of government property, weapons trafficking, conspiracy, Jennifer's face went white. She turned to look at Morrison. He wouldn't look at her. Day 3. The prosecutor played the recorded conversation. Morrison, that's 4 this year, getting easier. Hayes, Booker's paying $3 grand. Morrison, split 50-50. Jennifer stood up and left the courtroom. She never came back. The kids didn't understand, kept asking where Mommy went. Morrison had to sit there, in handcuffs, listening to his kids cry. I watched every second. Day 5. I was called as a witness. I testified about how Morrison pressured me to confess, how he lied, how he enjoyed having power over me. Morrison's defense attorney tried to attack my credibility. Attorney, Specialist Chen, isn't it true you have a grudge against my client? Me, I have a grudge against criminals who steal weapons and frame innocent soldiers. Attorney, you seem very invested in seeing him convicted. Me, absolutely. I want everyone to see what he really is. I looked directly at Morrison. A coward, a thief, and a traitor to the uniform. The courtroom was silent. Morrison looked away. Victory. Verdict day. Guilty on all counts. Morrison's shoulders slumped. I stood up and walked out before sentencing. I'd seen what I needed to see. Hayes's trial even sweeter. Hayes's trial was faster. The evidence was overwhelming. But day 2 was special. The prosecutor called Rachel, Hayes's girlfriend, as a witness. She'd been granted immunity in exchange for testimony. Prosecutor, Ms. Rachel Thompson, did Sergeant Hayes ever discuss his illegal activities with you? Rachel, yes, he bragged about it, said he'd been stealing and selling military equipment for years. Prosecutor, did he show remorse? Rachel, no, he laughed about it, said the soldiers he framed were too dumb to fight back. Hayes glared at Rachel from the defendant's table. She wouldn't look at him. His own girlfriend destroyed him. Verdict day. Guilty on all counts. Hayes's retirement ceremony was scheduled for 6 months later. Now he was retiring to Leavenworth Prison instead. Sentencing, the final blow. Morrison, 12 years in military prison. But that wasn't the revenge. The revenge was what happened after. Revenge phase 2, destroying their families. Morrison's wife Jennifer. She filed for divorce within 2 weeks of his conviction. But I made sure she knew exactly what he'd done. I sent her, anonymously, a folder containing white heavy checkmark timeline of his thefts, white heavy checkmark proof. He spent stolen money on the boat, and restaurant's white heavy checkmark evidence he lied to her about working late. White heavy checkmark financial records showing he'd been hiding income from her for years. She got full custody of the kids. She got the house. She got half his military pension, the part that wasn't forfeited. And I made sure she told their church, their families, their friends. Morrison's parents disowned him. His sister won't speak to him. His kids won't take his calls from prison. He lost his family, completely. Hayes's girlfriend, Rachel. She broke up with him immediately after testifying. But I made sure she was harassed by veteran groups for dating a traitor. She lost her job at the bar. The owner was a veteran's. She moved out of state to escape. Hayes's retirement party. Canceled, obviously. But I did something extra. I contacted every single person on his guest list, all 150 people, and sent them the court transcripts. Every single veteran who thought Hayes was a good NCO found out the truth. His brother, also military, requested transfer to avoid association. Hayes lost his entire social circle. Revenge Phase 3, Prison Reputation. Military prisons have a hierarchy. At the bottom, traitors, thieves who stole from fellow soldiers. I made sure every prisoner at Leavenworth knew what Morrison and Hayes did. How? I leaked the trial details to veteran forums, military Facebook groups, Reddit military communities. 2 NCOs convicted of framing junior enlisted soldiers and selling weapons to criminals. It went viral in the military community. By the time Morrison and Hayes arrived at Leavenworth, everyone knew who they were. Other prisoners, many of them former soldiers who got screwed by the system, didn't take kindly to NCOs who framed their own troops. Morrison got jumped in the first month, broken nose. Hayes got his cell trashed repeatedly. Good. Revenge Phase 4, Future Destruction. Dishonorable discharge means. Crossmark no veteran benefits crossmark, no VA healthcare crossmark, no GI bill crossmark, no pension crossmark banned from federal employment, crossmark banned from most state jobs, crossmark difficulty getting any job, felony record. Crossmark can't own firearms ever again, crossmark lose voting rights in many states. But I made sure their future was even worse. I created a website, militarythieves.com, dedicated to exposing Morrison and Hayes. White heavy checkmark, full trial transcripts, white heavy checkmark, mugshots, white heavy checkmark, criminal records, white heavy checkmark articles about their case. SEO optimized. Meaning, when anyone Googles Derek Morrison or Richard Hayes, employers, dates, neighbors, my website is the first result. They can never escape this. Ever. I contacted every job they applied to from prison. They're allowed to work prison jobs, get paid pennies. When they get out in 12-15 years, they'll need jobs. I built a database tracking them. Using public records, address changes, parole information. When they get out, I'll make sure every employer knows what they did. Revenge Phase 5, the victims get justice. Marcus Webb. The Army offered him reenlistment with rank restored and back pay, $45,000. He declined the reenlistment, but took the money. He's thriving now, got a civilian job, got married. I attended his wedding, we're friends now. Jessica Park. She got $35,000 in back pay. She used it to finish her degree. She's in cybersecurity now, making 6 figures. She sent me a thank you note. You did what I couldn't, thank you for fighting. I got promoted to sergeant. Got a commendation. But the real reward? Knowing Morrison and Hayes wake up every day in prison and realize their lives are destroyed, forever. Because of me. Act 5, The Message. 1 year later. I'm Sergeant Maya Chen. Still serving, still proud. Morrison has 11 years left in Leavenworth. Hayes has 14 years left. Their lives are over. The letters. 6 months into their sentences, I got letters from both of them. Morrison's letter. Chen, I know what I did was wrong. I'm sorry. I was desperate for money. Please tell my kids I love them. Please tell Jennifer I'm sorry. Can you help me appeal my sentence? Derek. I burned that letter. Didn't respond. His kids still won't talk to him. That's on him. Hayes's letter. You destroyed my life. I was 8 months from retirement. You cost me my pension, my freedom, everything. I hope you're happy. Fuck you. Richard. I framed that letter. Hung it in my barracks room. I am happy, very happy. The Final Revenge, documentary. I was contacted by a military documentary filmmaker. They wanted to tell the story of the weapons trafficking ring. I said yes. The documentary aired on military channels and streaming platforms. Full interviews, court footage, evidence. Millions of people saw it. Morrison's and Hayes's faces are now nationally recognized as military traitors. They can never hide. Ever. My message to viewers. If someone in authority tries to destroy you, don't just defend yourself, destroy them back. Legally, systematically, completely. I didn't just prove my innocence. I annihilated them. And I'd do it again. Because people like Morrison and Hayes count on you being too scared, too weak, too powerless to fight back. Prove them wrong. I'm Sergeant Maya Chen. They stole my rifle. I stole their lives. Fair trade. Hit subscribe if you believe revenge should be thorough and complete. Comment, have you ever destroyed someone who wronged you? How did you do it? Remember, don't get mad, don't get even. Get total annihilation. Hooyah. Please like and subscribe to this channel.